Thank you, Vernon. Thank you for reminding me to record this. But so yeah, we'll bring Lucky up here. Lucky is a recruiting event manager, and he is just doing an awesome job. Getting recruiting done, getting people added to our team. Our team is up to 60 reps, so super excited to have all you here. And yeah, Lucky's going to be emceeing tonight. Well, not tonight, but it feels like tonight because didn't get much sleep last night. But yeah, Lucky's going to be emceeing this section here and helping us learn how to handle some objections. So go ahead, Lucky, take it away.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Nick. I'm glad to be able to bring up our three hot speakers today for this wonderful handling objections panel. We first have Vernon B Williams V. We also have Kevin Marr. We also have the one and only Nick Snider as well. So I'll say some fun facts and career highlights about each of them. First, I'll start out with Vernon. Vernon in career sales has sold over $2.1 million in career sales. Last year, he had his first ever 500K year. He sold a 511,890 CPO. And one fun fact, a couple fun facts I have about Vernon. I remember back in 2017 when I was a younger rep, he was the first person I reached out to back in 2017. He really gave me great advice as a younger rep when I wanted to quit. He even told me, he's like, Lucky, like, if you want to quit, quit. I'm like, I'm not freaking quitting. So, thanks to you, I stayed with it as well. And I remember last year on a rep trip when your boy was going hard, you're one of the few to like chill out a little bit, all that. I remember when I had the speaker over my head, you're like, you do your famous, oh my God thing. So it's pretty awesome. Always remember that. And, playing basketball on the trips is really fun as well. And, another thing you guys, I know probably everyone in this group knows, but he's about to be a father for the first time. So, show him some love on the chat as well, too. Him and his wife, Mandy, are going to be parents for the first time. So that's wonderful. It's crazy how 6 years has gone by. You and Nick are going to be dads, and so that's wonderful. It's showing how much you guys have grown as well. So that's Vernon. Vernon's awesome. You guys are going to hear from him. The second person I want to introduce is Kevin Marr. Kevin Marr in career sales, he's at 1.5 million, in career sales. 2022 sales, he sold about 394,471 CPO. If he was at 1.5K, he wouldn't be on this call. Just kidding. Fun fact, he's a big Milwaukee Bucks fan. He's a big Packers fan. Packers suck, by the way, Kevin. He likes playing basketball. He loves to golf. And I remember a funny fact was when we went to Quick Trip in 2022, and I bought $30 worth of snacks. And you're like, Lucky, oh my God, this is a lot of food. Like, are you going to eat all this? And Kevin, I ate all of it. So I love working with Kevin at events. He's overall a fun person to chat with, fun person to work with. And, for Kevin also got some nice post moves in the post as well when he plays basketball. And I think he plays in a rec league every week. So it's awesome to see. So that's Kevin Marr. And then last but certainly not least is Nick Snider. Career sales is 2.2 million. 2022 sales, he sold over $404,000 in Cutco. Fun fact, Nick loves coffee. Nick loves to hunt. And Nick just loves Milwaukee, like everything Milwaukee. I know Nick's a big Packers fan too. So, and the thing I appreciate about Nick is that he empowers me to make decisions. So every time I ask him a question, he's like, well, what do you think, Lucky? And I really appreciate that, because I think that has empowered me to become a better rep as well too in the business. And I kind of like, he's like my other Cutco dad as well too when it comes to events. He really helps me in the business when it comes to events as well too, and really empowers me to be a better rep. So thank you for that. So I'll bring up our speakers: Vernon B Williams V, Kevin Marr, and Nick Snider. And our first speaker will be Vernon, and he will be handling this first objection. So Vernon, I would love for you to handle the do you have a card? Can I get a catalog? And do you have a website objection? So I'll be your customer. So you said the price, and I say, Hey Vernon, do you have a card? Can I get a catalog? Do you have a website?
So this is after I asked you for the price, right? Kind of like a
Correct.
walk up, can I get a card, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, great question. So I don't actually have business cards. I've been selling Cutco for 12 years, and I used to handle like 1,000 business cards a year. And can you guess how many people actually called me back? Yeah, zero. So, but let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on this package?
I like the package, but I just don't know if it's the right thing for me, and also like budget's just, I think that's just way out my budget kind of.
Sure. Okay. So I know when we first talked, you were telling me how you were tired of your dull, crappy knives at home, and you know some people that own Cutco. So you definitely see the value in Cutco, right?
Yeah,
Okay. And so it just sounds like this package is just, you know, a little bit more just outside of your budget right now. Is that right?
correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. And honestly, a lot of my customers, they experience the exact same thing. Like obviously everybody wants the beast at home. It's the best set that we sell, but sometimes it's just a little bit more than what they want to spend, right? So it's kind of like, you know, shopping for cars or shopping for homes. Usually the first option you see is the one that you would love to have, but maybe it's just a little bit more than what you want to spend. So you know, instead of just not buying a car, you just go with something a little bit smaller, still has everything that you'd use, and then you can just upgrade to that car down the road, right? And same thing with Cutco. So a lot of people, they'll start off with the family set or the basic set. And what's great is that you get most of the pieces that are in that complete set anyways. You'll still have me as your Cutco rep. And then in a couple of years, when you're ready to upgrade, you can just upgrade to the full set. So let me show you what some of these other sets are.
Awesome. I took some notes on that. One, the first note I took was the pain points. He clarified the pain points like that. He said like, hey, you said you needed some good knives. You said your knives aren't working for you at home. So I really like how he like clarified the pain points, and he wasn't critical with them. He was asking curious questions first, and then like just let's just clarifying the points as well too. Also love that he was on the customer side as well. And I love the analogies, like the car analogy, like everyone wants a nice, you know, car, but you know, we gotta be real, we gotta be real with ourselves and everything as well too. I love that analogy as well. And then he went on to close them on a smaller option. So great job, Vernon, handling that objection. So I'll like Kevin to handle the same objection as well. So yeah, Kevin, can I have a card? Do you have a website I can go to? Can I have a catalog? You're on mute, by the way.
Yes, the knives work a lot better than the cards, though. Kidding. Yeah, just curious. I mean, are you looking for, or basically, I mean, could you guys use a good set of knives at home?
Yeah, we could.
Okay, cool. And just to clarify, like, is this someone just coming up to the booth asking for a card, or is this, have we gone through like everything?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't explain. It's you gone through everything, like you tell them the price of like whatever set or whatever option, and then they say like, hey, could I have a card? Do you have a catalog? Can I have a website?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, what, you know, most people that ask me for a card, you know, typically what I've found is, you know, kind of the option that I'm showing them is either too much money or too many knives. What do you think that it is for you guys?
It's too much money.
Okay, cool. No, that totally makes sense. This is definitely not chump change for a set of knives. So, you know, what most of my customers do is start off with a smaller option, and you can always upgrade later. Do you mind if I show you a smaller option that might work better for your budget? And then we can kind of go from there.
Cool. Yeah, sure. And then, yeah.
Okay,
Like
great.
I liked how Kevin, broke the ice at first. Started with the joke that eases the tension of the interaction as well. And then he clarified, like, could you use a good set of knives? Just asked a clarifying question. And then he asked if it was too much money or too many knives. So it really got to the real objection. Great job on that, Kevin. And then Nick, I'll have you say the same thing. We go through the options, and then I asked, hey, do you have a card? Do you have a catalog? Can I have a website?
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you, Lucky, did you have a question or something, or what was the reason why you wanted one of my cards?
I like the option, but it's just something like that, like I can't do right now.
Okay, totally understand. So obviously the set that we're looking at here, these obviously, went through the 3 sets, and, I know we're looking at this homemaker or basic set. It's, just so this is actually just one of our bigger options. It's obviously, some of the most popular sets, what everyone usually starts with, but if this is just a little too much money right now, or it's too many knives, or both, what we can do is we can actually start with a smaller option. Is it okay if I just show you a couple of the smaller options?
Sure.
Okay, cool. And then I would jump into like a 5-piece. And then that's basically it. And then I drop down just like how Vern and Kev had mentioned they would as well.
Yeah, exactly. With the other 2 speakers, clarify, you get down to the real objection, and then you close them on a smaller package. You close them on something. It's better to have some Cutco than no Cutco. Great job, guys, on that first objection handling. The second one that I would like for you guys to do as well is the famous, let me walk around and come back and we'll think about it. That's the objection everyone loves. So I'll have Vernon go first again, and I'll be the customer. I'll be Mrs. Jones. Vernon, I like what we saw. Let's walk around and come back and we'll think about it.
Awesome. I'm just going to pause real quick. So for everyone listening, just realize that it's your customer's jobs to give you objections. It's your job to handle it. So fall in love with handling objections, because it's your job. It's inevitable that it's going to happen. Okay. So just wanted to bring that out. Yeah, totally get it. Just curious, Mr. and Mrs. Lucky, what is it that y'all need to think about?
Just want to think about if we could like budget this. If this is
for
like,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you obviously see if I'm just to get on the same page, it's not that you don't see the value in it, because obviously, you're going to love Cutco. You could use some good knives. It just sounds like this isn't the best package for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or would you say that that's the case?
Yeah, that's the case. And we just like to talk about things before we do it. We're not impulsive buyers.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's great is that I know that when we were talking, you mentioned that you've been looking for knives for a while, and that you've been dealing with dull knives for a long time. So what's cool is that, maybe it's not truly an impulse buy, because you've been looking, you've been asking around for good knives, but just maybe this is a little bit more outside of your price range, which is totally fine, right? I mean, this is obviously, like I said, this is the set that everybody wants, but can't always get or afford, but it's definitely a set that people work up to, right? So would you say that, like, before you head out, would you say this is way out of the price range, or just a little bit?
We can make it work. It's just like, I wasn't expecting to see knives at the auto show in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, totally get it. It's kind of like going grocery shopping, right? You have the list of foods that you want, but at least for me, like, I'll see those Oreos on the shelf, and I'm like, oh, those Oreos weren't on the list, but man, those sure look good. You just put it in the cart, right? So if I'm hearing you correctly, it sounds like you would love to have this package, and it's not that you can't afford it; it's that you could. You just don't know if you want to, like, if you want to spend the money on it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing. I totally get you didn't come to the auto show thinking you're going to see this knife booth, right? But let me ask you this. When you would get Cutco, would this be the set that you would get?
Yeah, I actually like this ultimate set. So
Okay. And so you'd use all the pieces in the package, right?
yeah,
Okay, great. By the way, whenever you would get it, what color would you do? Would you do dark or would you do white?
I like the dark.
The dark, okay. And then what color block would look best on your countertop? The lighter honey or the darker cherry?
Cherry blends in.
Cherry, yeah. So that would look beautiful on your countertops. Okay. And then if you were to do it, would you do it in full or would you split it up?
I just pay it off.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing. You could totally walk around and think about it, but if you know that eventually you're going to get Cutco and this is the perfect set, and I know when we first talked, you mentioned that you could use a really good set of knives. The only thing that ever changes with Cutco is the price, and only goes one way, okay? So what I would hate to see happen is by the time we talk again, is you end up spending more money on the same exact product with the same exact warranty. And obviously here at the auto show, this is one of the best places to get Cutco because of the show offers that we have here, right? So let me ask you this. Obviously, I would love to earn your business here at the show. So if I did something a little extra special for you, and I went out of my way to make you feel really good about getting the set while you're here with me today, is that something that you might be open to? Or would you want to see something smaller that might fit in your budget a little bit better?
Yeah, show me what you can do.
Okay.
And then you did it. Cool. Yeah, so again, I loved how you clarified, Vernon. I love the clarifying questions. Would you say this is in the budget or is that just way outside? That's a really good clarifying question as well. And I love how you hear the customer and not only hear, but you listen to the customer as well. I think that's like a lost art in our business. Like I think the best salespeople in our company are great listeners as well. And asking yes or yes questions like, hey, would this be the right set you want to do? What color would you do it in? What color block? And then would you pay it in full or split it up? Yes or yes questions. And I like how you tell them the advantages of buying Cutco now rather than later. So great job on Vernon on crushing that as well. So Kevin, I'll have you handle that same objection. Came to the booth, you showed me ultimate with steak, and I told you, let me walk around and come back and we'll think about it, Kevin. You're on mute.
Okay, cool.
Here we go.
Yeah, you can definitely think about it. Just curious before you go, and you guys, you can shoot me straight. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You know, what's the biggest thing that you guys need to think about? Is it more the price, the pieces?
It's not the, like, I think it's just the price. I didn't expect to see $3,500, set sitting where we're at. So,
Yeah, for sure. No, I totally get it. Nobody's ever coming to the show expecting to buy knives. But I know that you guys mentioned you guys have had your set at home for like 10 years. And you guys have been complaining to each other about how dull the knives were. So, so just curious, I mean, if you were going to get Cutco today, would this be the set? Or would you go bigger, smaller?
I don't think I would use all the pieces in the set. Like, do you have like a smaller option?
Okay, yeah, definitely. So everybody wants the complete set. It's definitely something most of our customers build towards owning eventually. What most of our customers actually do in your guys' situation is start off with our family set. It still comes with pretty much all the pieces that you use every single day. And then you can always upgrade to the complete set later. Do you guys mind if I show you the family set really quick?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So
Got it.
here's a family set. It comes with all the basic pieces. The only pieces you don't get are these 6, which most people don't use, every single day. And this is actually almost $1,000 less. So, when you split it up, basically all we do, all it is about $550 today. And I mean, honestly, like that's a good kind of like drop down because my handling the objection would be the exact same way as Vernon did it, essentially, if they were to, if it was the right package for them, and then kind of go through those questions. So could you guys see yourself using all the pieces in this set? Great. So if you guys were going to get Cutco today, would this fit a little bit better in your budget? Cool.
Yeah.
If I was to do something a little bit extra special on this set, would you guys consider getting it today?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I loved how you, like, same as Vernon, clarifying the objection, paint the pain points. You really like hit it home. And could you see yourself using all the pieces in the set? If it's yes, figuring out like what's the real objection. If it's no, you drop down slowly. You don't drop down like all the way to a 5-piece. You drop down slowly to like that signature set or to that smaller set as well too. And then you ask permission and then you close. So great job, Kevin Marr. And lastly, we have Nick. I am the customer and you try to close me on a set or a package. Nick, definitely liked what I saw today. But we just got here. Let me walk around and come back and we'll think about it.
Okay, cool. Actually, I'm going to pause here. So everyone on the call, if you are not taking notes right now, definitely take notes. Especially Vernon and Kevin. These guys are like literally one of the best reps on our team for handling objections. So make sure you guys are taking a lot of notes here. We're going to send out the recording later too, so you can script out what they're talking about. But these guys are awesome at what they do. So just make sure you're taking a lot of notes here. Okay. So if you haven't wrote anything down yet, just make sure you are taking notes. But cool, Lucky. So yeah, totally understand you want to think about the flatware here. I know you guys want to walk around and think about it. Before you go, what I'm going to do here, because, obviously if you walk down there, you can't see what you're thinking about, right? So it's a lot easier to think about it when the product's in front of you. So how about this? I'm going to give you some space. You guys go ahead and talk about it. And then whenever you're done talking, just flag me back over and we can, you can let me know what you guys decided. Okay. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then I just start polishing everything in my booth. Like I've been waiting all day to do it. And then I wait for the customer to flag me back down. And then what'd you guys decide?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. High five. You guys are going to love it.
Awesome. I love that. That was awesome. I like the line, what you said. Before you go, when you walk down there, you can't see what you're thinking about. Since you're here, I'll give you some space. So you literally give the customer space. You take a step back and you go do something done, talk to a booth partner, polish some knives, or reorganize the booth. I think last year I had the realization that I was like too into the customer. So I had to follow what you just said, take a step back, do something else, and let them actually physically talk about it when you're there. So that really changed changed my interactions with customers at the booth. So that's a really good point. That's what I took away from that. And then I had our speakers choose one objection that they're really good at handling. So I'll have Kevin go first. I think you chose if a customer comes up and asks you, hey, can I buy just this one piece? Can I buy that petite carver from you? Yeah,
You're muted.
You definitely can. I'm just curious, do you already own Cutco?
Yeah, I actually own a trimmer. Just wanted wanted a meat knife. I wanted a nice carving knife.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, you can definitely just buy one knife. Just a heads up, that knife comes in our 5-piece, which basically comes with the 5 most popular pieces that like our 5 best sellers, and it's a little better value. Do you mind if I show you what comes in our 5-piece real quick?
Sure.
Okay, great. And then I would just basically show them essentially a 5-piece without a trimmer, since they already have it, and throw in a different knife from that and kind of go from there. Also, I would maybe, can you ask me again and I can handle it a different way too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, how's it going? Kevin, can I actually buy just that one piece? Can I buy that petite carver?
Yeah, for sure. You definitely can. Just a heads up, or just curious, like what are your, I know you said you had one piece of Cutco, like what are your other knives like besides Cutco?
Um, they're not really the best. That's why I overuse my Cutco knife.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. So this is probably like your favorite knife at home.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. So, I mean, just curious, since it sounds like you could probably use a good set of knives, you can definitely just buy the one knife. Our sets are discounted here at the show, and they kind of come with like all the right tools for the right jobs. And I mean, if we had one knife that did everything, we would just sell one knife. But as you can see, we basically have the sets that have the right tools for the right job. Do you mind if I show you the set options, and you can tell me if
Yeah.
one of them works for you?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
And that's where you flow into like our 3 sets, ultimate.
Yeah.
I'll make
I typically will I mean, if they're just looking for one knife, I'll kind of start with the basic set just because it's a lot less of a jump from one knife to a complete set, and then just go from like a basic set and drop down from there.
Yeah. So Kevin, just so I understand, when they like someone comes up for one piece, like and they already have like Cutco, say if they have like a trimmer and they want like a petite carver, your process is like, start like from like the sets, and then if they don't want the sets, they you close to a 5-piece. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, basically figure out why they only want one knife.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because it could just be if they're missing it from their Cutco set, then that makes sense. But if more or less most people are just so used to using one good knife at home, and they're just like, I want to replace my other good knife that I used to have, but they're doing it all wrong. So we got to teach them.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Great job, Kevin, on that. Vernon, you're up next. You love this one. You chose this one. So I come up to the booth and you show me all the options. Yeah, Vernon, definitely like what I saw today. I am looking at some other knife brands. I just need to do my research.
Yeah, totally understand. Hey, I'm just curious, what exactly would you need to do research on?
Yeah, I need to do research on how this compares to like other knife brands out there. Like, Wusthof, Shun, Chicago Cutlery.
Yeah, absolutely. So never mind. Okay, great. So here's the thing, and I totally get that. And we've had a lot of customers that I felt the same thing. And I get it. It's a lot of money. You're ready to invest in knives, right? But when you research, you're going to see people who love Cutco and you're going to see people who don't love Cutco. But at the end of the day, whose opinion is the only one that truly matters?
Yes, me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, the great thing is that we give you a whole month to use it at home. Because I've been with Cutco for 12 years, I'll actually give you a whole year to use the whole set. So you can get Wusthof, you can get Shun, you can get whatever you want, and you can compare the 2 or to compare the 3 together. And if like you don't end up loving the Cutco, you can give me a call. I'll ship it back for free and refund your money, right? But let me ask you this, like at the end of the day, whenever you get into the high quality knives, they're pretty much all similar. So let me just ask you this. When it comes to high quality knives, do you want knives that are foreign made or knives that are American made?
I do have a Ford F-150, so I want American made.
Okay. Do you want knives that have a limited lifetime warranty, or do you want knives that has a forever guarantee that you can pass down to your kids and grandkids?
I guess forever.
Okay. And whenever you would have any kind of, issue with your knives, do you want to call the 1-800 number and have a chance to be on hold for a long time? Or do you want your own personal representative who you can call their cell phone number at any time.
I love to call like a rep whenever I need help on anything when it comes to service.
Absolutely. So here's the thing, Lucky. If you want all those things, then you need Cutco. Okay. Because the other thing too, Woosop and Shun, they're amazing. But the thing is, you're actually going to be paying a lot more money because you're paying for the name, you're paying for them to ship it overseas, you're paying Williams Sonoma their their fee on it. Whereas with Cutco, it's still high quality, but we're not sold in stores and we don't advertise. So when you buy it, it goes straight from New York to your front doorstep. And you have me as your personal Cutco concierge. The other thing too, what's great with Cutco, we're the only knife company in the whole world that has this double D edge that you use to cut the leather with, right? So if you go with other brands, you're going to have the straight edges that get dull very fast, right? They'll be sharper longer than like the cheaper knives, but they're still going to get duller faster. And if they have serrated knives are serrated knives. Doesn't matter if it's a $10 knife or a $100 knife, they're all going to rip and tear. Whereas with this edge here, it's going to cut like a straight edge knife, right? So with all these things there, I mean, can you see how like with Cutco, it could end up being like potentially the brand that you go with?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Just take
so
my
right. So here's the thing, and you can still do the research, right? But you already heard 3 random people that told you they've had their Cutco for 20 years and they've never had a sharpen and they love it, blah, blah, blah. And obviously I would love to earn your business while you're here with me today at the show. So if I, did something a little extra special for you, went out of my way to make you feel really good, would you be open to taking a leap of faith and trying out the set today?
Yeah, what you got?
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that. That was awesome. I took a lot of notes on that, and I'm seeing this event. Just you're again curious. You're being real on what they'll see when they go to the websites. And I loved how you used the 30-day trial period because it's kind of like a win-win situation. If they like it, they keep it. If they don't like it, then they can just return it and get a full refund. High quality. I remember you asking, do you like foreign made or American made products? And I said my answer, do you like a limited warranty or do you like a forever guarantee? And then you also mentioned that concierge service they'll get when they get Cutco as well. And then, you mentioned like, hey, if you want all those things, Cutco's the right decision for you. And, it goes from New York to your front doorsteps. And I liked how you said, if you're open to taking that leap of faith, so it gives them permission as well. So great job, Vernon, on handling that as well too. And then lastly, we got Mr. Nick Snider, and I come up to the booth, and I'm the only one here. So Nick, unfortunately, I need to talk to my spouse, and I'll definitely come back and think about it.
Okay, totally understand, Lucky. This isn't a small amount of money, so I totally understand. It's nothing here is cheap, right? But let me ask you this. I mean, if your spouse was standing right here, what do you think they'd say?
They would say I'm pretty nuts of spending this amount of money.
Oh, they would? You think so? Do you do most of the cooking, or do they do most of the cooking?
I actually do most of it, but she does some of it as well. Okay,
cool. So you think she'd be like, yeah, you're crazy for spending this much money?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what I would recommend then is, maybe this package is just a little too much right now. I know it's a huge investment and this is probably a set you eventually want to have. But what I would recommend is maybe we should just start with, our 5 favorite pieces or most popular pieces, or the 5 most customer recommended pieces. That way you can at least start with something rather than nothing. And we can always upgrade to a bigger set later. You want to check out what's in the 5 piece?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I drop down and then go from there. So yeah, anytime it's the spouse thing, I always like to ask that question, because there are times where the customer says, most of the time they say, oh yeah, they think I'm nuts. It's like, okay, well, that means it's too much money, or they don't feel comfortable spending that much money, right? if they say, oh, they'd probably say just do it, right? And then it's like, okay, well, it's the right package, it's the right thing. So then so actually, why don't we do a run through of that too, Lucky? This time say yes to the question, like, oh yeah, my spouse would probably say just buy it. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely got to talk to my spouse. We'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay, cool. So if you're just curious, if your spouse was standing right here, what do you think they'd say?
They say that, yeah, it's a lot of money.
Or no, they'd probably say they just do it, right?
They said you
yeah,
do it.
let's just yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's all right. So yeah, so okay, so if your spouse, if you already know your spouse is gonna say let's do it, obviously, it sounds like it's the right package. I mean, you guys like these, you like these knives, right?
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, and you guys would probably use them all the time too. I mean, you guys would use them in your kitchen?
Yeah, we would.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, so since your spouse is already going to say yes anyway, you get a full month, try it out, see if you like it. If for some reason you don't like it, you just ship it back, you get a full refund. Do you guys want to go ahead and do it today? Say no.
No.
Okay, cool. Well, or actually, then it's like, I'll think about it. Then I usually drop down and do super crazy, ridiculous deal. So it's like, okay, no problem. Well, here, what I'll do is I'll write this down so you can think about it, talk to your spouse about it. And then on a scale of 1 to, well, what color handles do you like again? Do you like the dark handles or the white handles?
I like the white.
Okay, the white handles. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about purchasing? 1 being like, Nick, we're really not that interested. 10 being like, hey, I really need to pee right now, but I'll be right back to buy the set.
I'm at a 10.
A 10? Okay, cool. Awesome. So how about this? So, so we have this huge goal for the home show or fair, and every order does definitely help us out towards our goal. My goal is actually get to $10,000 today, and our goal for the event is to sell, 30 grand, and every order does definitely help us out. And oh yeah, and I got on Tuesday, my baby was just born. Look at how cute she is. I didn't realize how expensive diapers were, but hey, you'd be helping me out towards my diaper fund too. So, okay. So how about this? So, if I could get you like a super crazy, ridiculous deal on the set right now, would you guys consider just doing it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just curious, would you guys rather have a lower price or extra free stuff?
Both.
Both? Okay. Most people want to say both, but hey, good answer. Well, let me see what I can do here, okay?
Awesome.
Okay, so I can't do this for everybody. Okay, so you can't go bragging to all your friends about this, okay?
All right.
So if you guys want to do this set today, so the homemaker, it's normally the 1,600 or 1,700 price, whatever it retails for now, I forget. It's on sale for the $1,549, and if you split it up, this is all it will cost you today, okay? So if you guys want to do it right now, then I show them my calculator, I can get it down to this. So literally the cheapest I can sell it for. And then now the other thing too, so just so you know, if you're doing any other shopping here today, if a salesperson ever says like, hey, would you rather have a lower price or extra free stuff? Always tell them both, because they can always do both, okay? So we got all 5 of these gadgets here. I briefly explained them. We got the can opener, it looks like a whale, so you can name them, haha. Wine opener, ice cream scoop, pizza cutter, peeler, blades pop out. I explain them all. So make sure you explain them all, just don't run through them. And then I hold them all up and I say, so if you guys want to do the set today, I can get you that lower price, but then I'll also buy 2 of these for you. Which 2 do you like the best?
Like that peeler and I like the ice cream scoop.
Okay, yeah, those are awesome. They're actually 2 of the most popular gadgets that we sell. So yeah, so like I said, this would be your price, or we can split it up on the easy pay. It doesn't cost anything extra to do that. And then you also get those free gadgets.
Awesome.
You do it?
Yeah, let's do it. Write it up. Awesome. Definitely love that. Loved how you went through all the process, totally understand. One thing I noticed about you, Nick, you love to say, I totally understand a lot. I love it. And if the spouse were here, what would they say right now? And then you just be real with them. If it's a no, tell them like, hey, maybe this is not the package for you. If it's a yes, just really hone down on like why it's good, and like the 30-day trial period, write it down, someone on the chat said, have a baby, I guess have a baby. And you know, you tie them down to like, you just had a baby, you know, the diaper fun, make it fun as well. And then ask them, hey, would you prefer a lower price or free stuff? If they say one or the other, you ask them again, and then you make them say both, and then close them. So that was awesome. I know Vernon had one more thing to say before we wrapped up this handling objection section. You can go ahead, Vernon.
Yeah, so the best way to handle an objection is before it comes up, right? So, you know, if you notice that one person comes up, make sure you ask the question. So who does the cooking at home? And even if it's a situation where like the spouse or the partner does all the cooking, something that Brandon says is like, great. So even though they do all the cooking, you still eat the food, right? Awesome. So you still know the foods that are being cooked in the kitchen. So you and I actually make a great team where you just tell me all the foods that they're cooking, you tell me the foods that you're eating, and I'll tell you the knives that they need to properly cut up all those foods, and we'll find the perfect package for your spouse here today. And then it's like you all are on the same team, and now it's fun, and you shouldn't get that objection of like, well, I need to, you know, talk to my spouse. So I would highly recommend all of us, and this is something like Brandon Brown always encouraged me to do, is with like the top 5 objections that you get, put yourself in your customer's shoes and just ask yourself, what would I need to hear as a customer to feel comfortable and confident to say yes to this deal? If my objection was, I'm paying for tuition, I need to talk to my spouse, I'm going on vacation, whatever it is, right? And I told, like, the first time I did this, it was about remodeling the kitchen. And I did this exercise and I found an objection that I really, really loved. And I was working at county fair, and someone came up and said, like, you know, we're looking at the ultimate, and their objection was, we are remodeling kitchen. I was never so excited to handle an objection before then. And I said exactly what I came up with, and they bought it, right? So just take the time to like take yourself through that process and become masters at handling objections.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much to our 3 speakers, Vernon, Nick, Kevin. Let's give them a hand. Show them some love on the chat. Great job, guys. And I'll give it back to our wonderful coordinator, Nick Snider.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for all the goods. This is great. Thanks, Lucky, for emceeing that for us. I know I learned a lot from Vernon and Kevin. And yeah, I am excited to handle more objections. Hopefully you guys are too. If you guys have any, we don't have time for Q&A, but if you have any questions, you should have all these guys' numbers already. But definitely feel free to reach out to any 4 of us, you know, myself, Lucky, Vernon, Josh, or sorry, not Josh, Kevin. Sorry. It's like, I'm just like going in order here. Josh, you're next. But so yeah, reach out to Kevin, reach out to Vernon, reach out to Lucky. Don't reach out to me until next Monday. I'll be back next Monday. But I'm more than happy to answer any questions as well. But yeah, so next we're going to actually do a little crowdsourcing activity. I wanted to bring up Vernon here again. So Vernon, I reached out to Vernon here, and he said he felt called that he can definitely share some goods on how to engage clients effectively. And so I just wanted to give Vernon a little extra time here to share some thoughts on engaging clients and how to effectively do that. Vern's actually one of the best people at not only objection handling, but also engaging clients. So, and honestly, engaging clients, this is like the fun part of the job where you can say just about anything you want. And if the person walks up, great. If they don't, that's okay too, right? So it's like, just have fun with this. So Vernon, if you want to share some extra goods and knowledge on how to effectively engage clients, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I did give a talk at NET on engaging customers behind the booth, and I think Dave Bush just uploaded all that. So subscribe to Dave Bush's YouTube channel, and you can watch the full thing on there along with all the other great talks. So, you know, first and foremost, just have a lot of fun, right? Kate and I just worked at an Appleton Home Show, and, you know, we were just having fun with customers behind the booth whenever they would walk by, and you know, we would just ask, hey, how are you doing today? And most people will ask you, good, how are you doing? And saying something simple like, it's great, just cutting up deals today, right? Just getting them laughing. That's going to enhance the energy behind the booth, right? So sometimes engaging customers behind the booth and something simple as that, the goal isn't to necessarily to sell to everybody, but it's just to increase and up level the energy behind the booth. Because if the energy is good and it's fun and it's positive, then that's just going to naturally attract people, right? We've definitely had it where vendors come up and they're like, man, people just always laughing laughing at your booth and having a good time. What are you guys doing, right? Well, they're buying knives, and buying knives is fun, okay? So, first and foremost, just have a lot of fun with your customers, be behind the booth, okay? So it's all about how you show up as well. So check your energy before you step into the booth. Check your energy before you leave your car. All of us have challenging times going on at home and in our personal lives, but leave your challenges in the car, because your customers and prospects, they deserve your absolute best, okay? So, do whatever like pre-show or pre-service call, pre-appointment ritual you need to do to get yourself in a great mindset. So show up from a place of gratitude and abundance, and just being thankful to be there, and grateful for the opportunity to show up and serve, okay? The next thing is, we're all familiar with like prejudging, right? Prejudging can be bad, but prejudging can also be good, right? If you're seeing people walking by and they have a Rolex, or they have a Louis Vuitton, some kind of designer bag, they have really nice shoes, or like once you're in the baby world, you notice really nice strollers and carriers that parents are walking around in. Those are potential money customers. So whenever I see someone with a Rolex, I'm like, hey, nice Rolex, we're matching, right? And maybe that'll drag them to the booth, right? Get them to the booth, and you make sure you ask them, where did you get that, or how did you get that, right? Because just because also they have, a designer something, it could have been gifted to them. So you don't always want to assume either, right? But 9 times out of 10, they bought that Louis bag, they bought the, whatever, right? So be on the lookout for those certain things. When you hear people say anything when it comes to Cutco or knives, or, oh, my neighbor has those and they absolutely love it, that's your chance to engage them as well. When I was working in Milwaukee in January, I heard this couple, say something about Cutco, and I was like, oh, you have Cutco? And this is when they're already like a few feet away from the booth. And all I said was, hey, I can help you get your knife sharpened if you want. And they came back to the booth, took down their information, but then I showed them some new stuff, and then they bought like $800 worth of Cutco, okay? And, I'm sure a lot of the CSPs here, they could tell you stories of when something similar like that happened. They brought them to the booth, and all of a sudden, they sold them like $1,000, a few $100s, got them signed up for a service event, something like that, okay? So, no one's perfect at this. Like, I know some of us are on our phones a lot, but just remember, like, you are there to make money. You're there to sell Cutco. You're there to engage customers. And like, if you're working with me and it's your turn, but you're just sitting in the back of the booth and you're just on your phone the whole time, I'm going to be talking to customers, okay? So don't be mad at me if it's your turn and I bring someone up and I'm selling them Cutco, because I'm ready, right? And obviously we're not perfect at this, but when you see somebody that's slowly walking by and they're just like, kind of looking at the booth, or again, you hear someone say anything regarding Cutco, that's an opportunity to get them to the booth. When you have someone that already owns Cutco, a lot of us have heard Josh Mueller say this, where they establish that they own Cutco, and you say, oh, do you have this piece over here? And you bring them literally to the opposite side of the booth. Okay, I don't care if it's a cutting board, I don't care if it's a peeler, it doesn't matter, because the goal is to get them to the booth. Okay, so just have fun with your customers, getting them to the booth. And then just real quick, like the second part of engaging people is, if you have multiple people there, you want to make sure that you are engaging everybody at the booth. Okay, so engage both customers, hand both people knives. I have both people cut leather, right? So I have the main cook do the main leather test, and then I have a very old piece of Cutco that I have like the other spouse cut the leather with. So I'm getting them both involved. I'm asking them both questions, right? And if one person isn't fully into it, don't be afraid to say, hey, Mr. Jones, what are your thoughts, right? Just get them talking. And, you know, don't be afraid to establish authority and leadership in the booth. So if you see that one person is starting to like walk away, just say, hey, Mr. Jones, I want to show this to you. And like, bring out a Hardy slicer, right? Just bring it back to the booth. If one of them is about to walk away, just ask them, hey, that's totally fine. Are you cool if you know, if your spouse here makes a decision on a set here, right? Like our knives are about $100 to $200 a knife. A la carte is roughly $150 a piece, right? So our sets are anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s. Are you fully like 100% fine with them making a decision on what they want? And if they say, yep, that's totally fine, then great. Like let them go, because now you won't have to hear that objection of like, well, I need to talk to my spouse, right? But if they say, well, no, we need to think about it, then don't be afraid to be like, okay, well, why don't you hang out here just for a few minutes, because I'm about to show some options. And obviously we would need both of you here together, okay? So get people to the booth, try to be on your phone a little bit less, or at least like if you're just going to like scroll for a little bit, at least have it up to where like your face is at least like forward and you're not like looking straight down, okay? But limit your screen time, okay? And just say hi to people, you know, cutting deals, have your punny jokes. And when you hear people say anything about Cutco, that's your time to bring them in, get them signed up for sharpening, and then sell them. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted me to specifically go over next.
That is great. Appreciate it, Vern. So yeah, so the big things is, you know, prejudging is okay. You know, sometimes, you know, when you see luxury products, it doesn't always mean that they're going to buy knives, but it's somebody that you should definitely at least say hi to, right? I know something that I've heard from Burt Wick said it at Net as well. It's like, say hi to everyone, right? For those of you that work with me, you know that I'm sitting there saying, hey, how's it going? Good morning. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How are you doing? And 90% of the people walk past, but when I say hi to that one person and they get just past my booth and then they think to themselves and they turn around and come straight to me, I'm like, sweet, I'm so glad I said hi to that person because now they're in front of me, right? So, you know, just keep that in mind. You know, say hi to everybody, and yeah, don't be on your phone. You know, if you're on your phone, if you're texting, you know, here's the other thing. If you need to take a break because you're maybe stressed out or it's been a long day, or you just need to take a break because you've been working with a lot of clients, walk out of the booth, right? Just walk out of the booth, go text, play your little phone game for 5 minutes, go to the bathroom, grab some food, grab some water, do what you need to do. So when you can come back to the booth, you're ready to stay high energy and keep engaging clients and keep bringing people to the booth, and also, you know, energizing your coworker and staying, you know, energized with your booth buddy as well. So if you are not doing those, if you are that person that sits in the back of the booth and you're like, you know what, I'm going to sit here and wait for somebody to walk up to me. One, that's breaking policy. Is what we consider cherry picking, right? So it's like, don't be cherry picking. You know, engage people. And, you know, if you are working with that person, make sure you challenge that person. Say, hey, you know, I've noticed you've been sitting in the back of the booth on your phone for a while. Are you okay? Is everything cool? It's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm just taking a break. It's like, oh, you know, totally understand, you know, but you've been doing this for like a half hour. You know, I'd love it if, you know, we can keep the energy up, you know, keep engaging clients and keep crushing this event. Right. So don't be afraid to challenge your booth buddy if they do happen to be that person. Right. So, and, you know, if you are that person that does sit on your phone frequently, don't get me wrong, I do it every once in a while. You know, sometimes I got to text my wife back, or that I got a bunch of reps texting me, or there's a customer that texts me and I need to answer it. That's great. But if you're sitting on your phone and you're on social media and everything else, like, you are not doing your job, right? If you work a 9 to 5, there's many people on this call that have worked another job besides Cutco. It's like, if you're working a 9 to 5, and your manager finds out that you're sitting on your phone for an hour on Facebook or Instagram or, you know, Twitter or whatever, they're going to be like, you're fired, get out of here, right? You're wasting money, you're wasting time, right? So we're all independent contractors. So have that mentality and have that accountability for yourself Like, hey, am I doing my job? Am I serving myself? Am I serving my clients when I'm in this booth? And if you're not, make sure you change that right away and, just get back to hitting your goals and serving the people in front of you. That will serve your results. It'll serve the customers. It's going to serve the event, and it's going to serve the team too. So just kind of keep that in mind. So if everybody could jump on video here, that is here, I just want to make sure that we don't have somebody just chilling here. We're going to do a group activity here, a small group activity, around engaging clients. So this is going to be fun here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put you in breakout rooms. Please write down these couple questions here, and I'll give you some instruction on how we're going to handle this. So, so the first question, so you're definitely going to want to write these down. So grab a pen, grab a notebook, something to write on. If you need to walk away from your screen and grab it, go for it right now. Pat, you're driving, so don't grab a pen. Keep driving and just kind of try to make a mental note of these. Grab some pen and paper. The first question is, what are your favorite lines or phrases for engaging clients at the booth? What are your favorite lines or phrases for engaging clients when you are at the booth at an event? Second question, what is the most effective way? Actually, Caden, if you could type these in the chat, or Seth or Lucky, that'd be great. Or anyone, that'd be awesome. Second question is, what is the most effective way you have found to engage clients when you're at the booth? What is the most effective way to engage clients at the booth? Make sure you have all those down. So we're going to give you like 3 minutes here. Go ahead and journal about those. Well, before we get to that, I'll give you some more instruction here, so you guys know what we're going to be doing. So we're going to put you all in breakout rooms. You're going to be in groups 3 to 5. And what I would like you to do is take 1 minute and share what your favorite lines are for engaging clients at the booth. And then what have you found is to be the most effective way to engage clients when you're at the booth? So share those things. Each person go around the horn. Each person gets a minute. When one person gets done sharing, everybody else that is in the group, I want you to appreciate them about something that they shared, or just let them know that they have felt heard after they give their share, and then move to the next person. So this is going to go quick because everyone only gets a minute, right? So that's going to take about 5 minutes. Okay. And then after that, what you're going to want to do, before you even start doing shares, you want to assign 2 people. One person's going to be a note taker, and one person's going to be a spokesperson for your group. Okay. Because each group's going to share. Okay. So the best way to do this is just have people step up right away. So if you're like, you know what, I'm great at note taking, or hey, I want to be the spokesperson, just step up right away with the second you get in the breakout room, so you don't burn up a bunch of time. Okay. So assign those people, give your shares, appreciate the person that shared, and then the last 10 minutes, what you're going to do is the note taker is going to have a list of all the things that you guys shared, and I want you to pick the top 3 as a group for the top engaging lines or questions or phrases that you use. The three that your group likes the most. It might be one that you shared, might be some that someone else shared, but pick your top 3. And then the spokesperson will bring that back to the group and share it with everybody else. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. So is this, when you say engaging clients at the booth, is it getting customers to the booth, or is it engaging customers once they're at the booth?
This is engaging people to the booth.
Okay.
So somebody's walking past your booth. What's the key phrase that you like using, or what's the one that you found to be the most effective?
Cool.
Cool.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm just getting these groups organized here. Anyone else have any other questions? Any questions? Any and all questions are welcome.
So my connection I cut out for a little bit. We're doing the questions Vern put in the chat, right?
Yeah, so the questions in the chat. So we're gonna, I'll share those here quick. So you guys can go ahead, take 3 minutes to journal this right now. I'll repeat them for you again, Tuck. So take 3 minutes here and answer questions. What are your favorite lines or phrases for engaging clients to the booth when you're working an event? And what is the most effective way you have found to engage clients to the booth? Okay, so journal about those, and then we're going to break you up into groups. Pick a note taker, pick a spokesperson. Everyone share, appreciate the person that shared. Write down your top 3 as a group, and then the spokesperson will bring those back and share. You got 2 minutes left to journal about these questions. I'd come up with 2 to 3 for each question. So maybe it's something that you said when you were at an event this last weekend, or maybe it's something that you heard from somebody at NET that you heard speak. Maybe it's something that you heard from Vern just now, and you think it's a cool idea. Anything that you think is great or is a favorite line of yours that you may use while you're working. Anything at all. There's no bad answers. Everything's great. Maybe it's a funny joke. Maybe it's, you know, something that you say. Maybe it's you just saying hi. Could be anything. Still got a couple minutes here. Like I said, 2 to 3. Once you're done, if you just want to wave your pen in your camera so we can see that you're done, that'd be great. You're still working, totally cool. You got time. JD, I have no idea how you have that moving thumb, but now I want to know how to do that. That's amazing. I'm like an old guy when it comes to the Zoom stuff. All you DMs are like brainiacs with this stuff. Okay, so we're going to be breaking out into groups here in another minute. Awesome.
Hey, I'm gonna hit the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it, man. Okay, we're going to put you guys into breakout rooms here. So go ahead and click that blue button when it pops up on your screen, and look forward to seeing you guys in another 15 minutes. See you guys soon. Jared, Dalton, David, Nick, I know you just went to the bathroom. If you guys want to join your breakouts here, that would be great. Jared, Dalton. If you guys want to join your breakouts, that would be awesome. What's up, Cy and Mike? We're doing a group activity. Cy, do you have pretty good service? You want me to throw you in a breakout room?
Yeah, I should have service for another 15 minutes. That's probably gone for the rest of the meeting.
Perfect. I'm going to throw you in a breakout room. Did you hear the questions that we're answering and everything?
I did not hear those. No.
Okay, cool. We were just asking basically favorite lines and phrases to engage clients. So I'm going to throw you in a breakout room and, spitball it. If you don't have anything, that's totally fine, but I'll still give you a chance to participate with these guys. So I'll throw you in a breakout room, okay?
Sounds good.
How you doing, Mike? Everything great?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Baby.
Are we at the shift picking part now?
No, not quite yet. We're doing everyone's in breakout rooms right now. We're doing a crowdsourcing activity on how to engage clients effectively. So
There you go.
yeah.
How's your baby? Is your baby home already?
Yep. Yeah. She came home on Saturday. Last night was a rougher night for mom and dad, but hey, we're taking shift sleeping. It's great.
Dude, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
She's under the weather too. So we were playing hot potato every 2 hours.
Yep. Yeah. We were taking 4 hours. It was 1:30 to 4:30. I think I slept for 20 minutes, but
Dude, that's part of being a parent.
yep. It's challenging and rewarding. I totally understand. You don't know until you have one. Now it's like, I've only had her for a few days, but it's like, yes, very rewarding, and there's challenging days, but it's all worth it.
For sure, man. Hey, what do you, mommy's home? So how are we doing on the call? You think another 15, 20 minutes or so?
Yeah. So they got 10 minutes in these breakouts. We're going to do shares. That'll bring us to 1:30. And then I got about 15 minutes of updates. So yeah, you'll be able to pick right at 1:45. So if that worked for you, sorry, it's interrupted.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably jump off and then jump back on, but I appreciate your willingness to be flexible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And yeah, so I'll see you in like another half
All right.
hour.
See you. Bye.
Dalton, you there? welcome back. You guys had a good conversation.
It looked great.
Good. I love the photo in the background that you have, Cassie. Where is that? Is that like Midwest or somewhere warmer? You're on mute.
Kevin got it from Ross. This was actually the only thing that he had in his apartment when I moved in.
Wow, awesome.
It was this and a dining table and a mattress.
One fun.
So we've come a long way, but
Great
yeah,
picture.
it's special.
Great picture. Awesome. We're just waiting for everybody to jump back. Hopefully you guys had a good conversation. If you are the spokesperson, if you could raise your hand on your little emoji thingamajig, or use your reactions. There you go. If you just want to raise your little emoji hand, JD's a master at this, clapping. Thanks for the tip. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. But yeah, so if you're the spokesperson, so what we're going to do is if you could share at least 1 or 2 ideas that was in your top 3. The first thing that we're going to actually do here, I'm going to show you guys how to track so you can take really good notes on this and you guys can get some really good nuggets from this as well. So if you have a piece of paper, whether it's in your notebook or just a computer piece of paper that I have, I like using just single sheets of paper just because I can flip through them and throw them out and keep the ones that I like. But what you want to do is you want to draw a line that goes all the way down the middle of the paper, like so. I'll have to get a document camera. I'm going to invest in that now. And then you're going to want to draw, kind of split it up into 6 sections. Okay, so you're going to draw 2 other lines down like so. Try to make it as even as you can. And then you're going to put number 1 in the top left-hand corner. And then number them 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got 5 groups. Okay, so we're going to hear from each group. If there's a group that looks like we got 4 groups with the hands raised, the 5th group, whoever you are, if you could also raise your hand so we can hear your shares from your group. But first, we're going to start with, we'll go to Cassie first here. But what you want to do is, again, share 1 to 3 of your top nuggets that you guys as a group figured out, whether that's what your favorite lines are for engaging clients or your most effective ones. So Cassie, go ahead and take it away.
All right, so my group was me, Lucky, Jamie, and Jacob, and we liked all the jokes. So some of our favorite engaging lines were sharp knives for sharp wives, or sharp knives for sharp guys. Just all those jokes. And then tell me to cut it out, cutting deals. And then one of the effective things that we had was just that little fishing pole thing to reel them in. When someone just like mentions something about cacao, they're like, oh my gosh, cacao, or hey, look, knives. You're just like, oh, caught you, come on. But then if they don't come over, you're like, oh, what a bad fish, and you just let them swim away.
Awesome. Appreciate the shares. I know I definitely, especially working with Lucky, the cutting deals, definitely hear that a lot. That's always a good line. Sharp knives for sharp wives or husbands. It's great. Cut it out. If the jokes are, just let me know, cut it out. Love all the puns. And then, yeah, the fishing pole thing, that is awesome. So jokes are fun. Make it fun, right? Appreciate it, Cassie. Next, we'll go to Vernon here. And then after Vernon, we got Josh. So Vernon, go ahead.
So I was with Sam, Jared, and Kevin Gordon. So first one, we said to look for what they're wearing, whether if it's a logo or, anything designer, something, a nice watch, and you comment on them, you compliment it because they actually take pride in those kind of items. And then you say, hey, if you really love your Louis or you love your Rolex, this is the Rolex of cutlery, right? And you just have that interesting phrase there, inviting them in. So with if you notice that there's a couple that's just staring at the booth, just say, you can come on in. I may cut, but I don't bite. I promise, right? So just bringing them in. And then when you hear customers say anything like, oh, I love my Cutco, whatever, then say, oh, you have a Cutco? High five. Do you sell? How about your fingers? Blah, blah, blah. And then you ask them, hey, what pieces do you have? Right? And getting them to the booth, or just saying, hey, I'm doing free sharpenings in the area if you're interested. Right? And then that'll bring them to the booth too.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely the logos, especially if I know everyone loves, selling business gifts now. So, yeah, obviously that's a big thing. Compliment their logos. If they have any logoed, like a hat or jacket, love that. Compliment their luxury items or logos or whatever they're wearing, maybe it's or a sweet stroller, like the dads of the group are starting to share. Love the dad stuff. And then, yeah, past customers, give them high fives, ask them what they got, what they have at home. That's awesome. Appreciate it, Vernon. Josh, we got you going next. Go ahead, Josh. Take it away.
All right. I had Sierra, Cy, and David Johnson in our group. I love when other vendors literally are done and they say cutting deals, right? Because Lucky said it so much. It's just great. So one of the ones that we had was the happy customer list for Cutco owners. Just utilizing that to bring people in, and it's just a thing that says name, years owned, and favorite thing, especially the customers that are further away from the booth and they didn't come into the booth. You can just say, hey, can you sign our happy customer list? And then they'll come back and then you can qualify from there. Going outside the booth and shining knives is a great way to pull people in, because you can see them and engage them. And Sierra, she actually has shirts that have knife puns on it. And one might say, you're looking sharp today. And so she'll say, oh, you're looking sharp today, as people are walking by and engaging people. And then asking questions based on the event, or utilizing maybe something at the event. Like if it's a drinking event, you might be like, oh, you brought me a beer, if they have a full beer and they're walking by. And they'll be like, oh, no, I didn't bring it. But it's just a way to engage them. Or at the RV show, I was asking people, oh, do you have an RV? Or are you getting an RV? And just thinking what you can be saying specific to the event in terms of questions to pull people in.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Josh. Yeah, I know polishing and shining knives, especially outside of the booth, helps you, be even closer to clients. Happy customer list. That's always a good one. It's like an oldie, but a good one. Like it works. People use it, right? So happy customer lists are great. And love the shirts with puns. I know, keep it fun, keep it light. That's always great. Next, we'll go to Kevin Marr here, and then Caden will bring you up last here. So Kevin, go ahead and unmute yourself and share what we got.
All right. We had me, Seth, JD, and Nick Johnson. Some of our main ones, just simply, if you see someone somewhat looking over at the booth, are you familiar with Cutco? Because you use some good knives at home. This is Lucky's favorite one that I use. And then if you see someone with like a sports team logo on their clothing, it's, hey, we're cutting deals for Packer fans. We're cutting deals for Bears fans today. You want to check it out? That's another thing that someone mentioned, is basically a nice little line is, do you want to check it out? Just something simple. Kind of help them make a decision of, whether they want to see it or not. Do you have some Cutco? Yes. When's the last time you had them sharpened? One thing we realize is that, when you lead with service first, is that a lot of good things can come out of it. So, helping them get signed up for a service call, or helping them get sign up for your service event, and then kind of leading into showing them the new stuff is a great way to engage clients with service first, not let me sell you something. Yeah, I would say, yeah. Do you have Cutco? Yep. Which pieces do you have? Point at your red board. I think that's good. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, appreciate it, Kev. Yeah, the question, are you familiar with Cutco or could you use some good knives at home? Those are always great, engaging questions and super basic and, you know, always keep the energy flowing. You know, you're always just talking to people. I know Lucky loves the, reaching out about fans, especially if it's Packers or Bears fans or anything like that. But yeah, you know, checking out logos, you know, cutting deals for Packers fans or, you know, Chiefs fans or whatever other fans you guys are out there. So yeah, appreciate it, Kev. And then Caden, we will bring you up last here to share.
I was in a group with Cutco Pat, Tuck, and Bob Lohr. And we kind of just thought, just be authentic to yourself. So have fun, but you don't have to be so over the top if that's not you all the time. Other than that, I think like the Josh Muller line, you have this one over here. I think it's important once you get them over there, instead of going, hey, are you ready to buy knives today? It's like, do a Cutco power intro, cut some leather, and then qualify. I think my favorite line ever is from Cutco Pat. He said when he eats lunch, he likes to get the biggest corn dog or the biggest sandwich or whatever at the fair and go, we're cutting deals as big as this corn dog. And that's something that killed Kevin and I when we were working at Missouri. So just have fun with it in your own way, whatever that means.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Caden. Yes, definitely love that. I honestly have never heard that biggest corn dog line. So that is awesome. Absolutely love that. That's hilarious. But yeah, being authentic and cutting leather engages clients, right? When you cut a piece of leather, people are like, oh my gosh, this stuff's awesome, right? So cutting leather is always great. Be authentic. And yeah, corn dogs, big corn dogs. That's awesome. Appreciate you sharing, Caden. So yeah, hopefully you guys got some nuggets out of that. So hopefully you guys took some notes on those shares. Obviously we'll send out the recordings. You can also hear those shares again. Yeah, you know, these are great ways to engage clients. So, you know, some of these might be new, you know, just try them, you know, like Vern had said, you know, have fun with this, have fun when you're engaging clients. It's gonna, you know, make it more fun when you're working for you. And, you know, have the biggest corn dog right at the fair, right? Just make it light and fun. So, appreciate it. Well, next year we're going to jump into some stuff here, and then we'll jump to our tier 1 shift pick call here. First off, I'll explain shift picks real quick. So essentially how it's going to work is just like last time, except we're not all in one giant, massive 4-hour phone call, right? So all the calls are on our website. So make sure you go check those out if you haven't already. You must be on the call in order to pick events. You cannot pick events unless you are on the phone call. So if you are a tier 1 rep, you are invited to your tier 1 call and also your local division. And then the second division that you picked, whether it was, you know, Gateway, Chicago, Big Sky, Northern Illinois, Northwoods, Southern Wisconsin, whatever extra division that you picked, you are also able to attend that call. You are still treated as a guest. So yes, travel restrictions still apply for that extra division that you picked, but you are still able to pick those tier 2 and tier 3 events. For those of you that are not tier 1, you are only on your local phone call. And if there are any tier 1 events that are unstaffed and you are a tier 2 rep or tier 3 rep, and after the tier 1 phone call, if there's, you know, an event that we didn't get staffed completely, then you're more than welcome to pick that event as long as it's in your local territory. So the last thing is we have our unstaffed phone call. That's next week, Tuesday. Those are for any events where, you know, there won't be any travel restrictions. Yes, that will be a big giant team call for those that want to attend. But if there's any events that you're like, oh, you know, I'm in Northern Illinois and I want to work in Skyway and there's that event that's tier 2 that I really want to work, jump on that unstaffed phone call, make sure that you are on that as well. Does anyone have any quick questions about shift picks? Does this all make sense? Any questions about picking events?
I had a quick question. Are managers, so if they already had a pre-pick, but they pre-picked from outside their division, would that make it so it's only one local rep can pick the other one?
That is correct. Yep. Yeah. So if, with the exception of myself as the coordinator, I'm the only person that is an outlier for that rule. But yeah, if there's any events that event manager has picked, that second spot is only reserved for a local rep if that event manager is not a local rep in that division. So I know the one that, well, it was the first pick on our call, but Lucky picked EAA in Northwoods for tier 1. So Lucky is a Skyway rep. That is a Northwoods event. So the other two remaining spots are reserved for Northwoods reps. If it goes unstaffed, then that second or third spot would be able to be picked on the unstaffed phone call. So,
Hey, Nick, I have a question.
yeah, go for it, Sierra.
On some of our bigger fairs, last year we split it up into 2 different picks. I don't see 2 different lines for these fairs this year. Is it just one pick for the fair, or how is that going to work?
Which fair are you talking about?
Like the Montana State Fair is a 9-dayer, should be a two different pick one. That is a tier 1 though. And I believe there was another one, but it's not coming to the top of my head at the moment.
Okay, cool. If you could text those to Caden can definitely get that adjusted. Yeah, Montana State Fair is definitely 2 picks.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think there's like Northern Idaho Fair, some of the bigger ones. There's a couple of them in there that should be split up.
Yep. Yeah. So those would be considered 2 picks. So
Okay.
we can get those split up before your phone call. Tier 1 we'll make it happen. But yeah, for the rest of the fairs, it's mainly state fairs. But yeah, if it's over 8 days or 7 days, really, if it's over 2 tab weeks, yes, it is 2 picks. So.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Nick, I noticed there's a couple of shows that are in the wrong spot. Like there's one that's in downtown Chicago and it's like on the Skyway tab. And then
Okay.
Illinois State Fair was listed as it's a tier 1 event, and then it's also listed as a new event in another place. So just wanted to
Okay,
let
yeah.
you know.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we'll make sure we look over the duplicates. I know the tier 1 calendar should be correct. We'll double check all the divisional calendars and update them accordingly before the other phone calls. So appreciate it, Tuck.
Cool.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Otherwise, I can share our little sales contest if you guys are ready for that.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do you guys want to hear about this or?
Yeah.
Oh, let's hear it. Ow.
Okay, so
Yes.
I know we like cake.
Feel like we're in training again. You guys don't want it. You guys don't want it enough.
We're just 2 PRs.
Yes.
Come on.
Come on,
You recommend
everybody.
2 people a job and then start selling cookies.
Empty out your contacts.
Give me all
Okay,
your
so
names and
here's-
numbers.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Like it's like, no, we don't want it. Zoom's like, no, you can't share.
Now you cut out.
Dang, contest is that good, huh?
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now.
Okay, you guys cannot see my screen, can you?
No.
You guys, there's like so much energy for this contest, it just broke Zoom. So, anyway, so here is the contest. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So we're doing steak dinner. So our contest dates are April 25th through May 15th. So it's, I think it's 3 tab weeks altogether. So how to qualify, we're taking you out for steak dinner. Don't worry, it's not in Chicago this time, unless the Chicago team wins it. So I'll share that,
It's in Appleton.
bottom. So how to qualify? If you sell $5,000 in event sales only, so that's traditional events, service events, mall display, industry, that tab under my coordination, anything like that, it all counts towards this contest. So if you sell $5,000, you get to attend for $50. You sell 10 grand, you get to go for free. If you sell 20,000, you get to bring a significant other to one of the dinners, or you can go to both dinners if you want to travel. How we determine where we are going. The top 2 divisions in event sales is where we will host the dinners. So this also doesn't mean like, if I go up in Northwoods and sell, that's counting for the Northwoods division. If Mike Dowd flies to Idaho and does a service event, that's counting for Big Sky, right? So it's whatever division has the most sales, that's where we'll host those dinners. These are the options, which is super exciting. So Big Sky, we're going to let you guys pick as long as you guys are one of the highest tabbing CPO teams, but we'll either hold it in Boise or Spokane. So we got Chandler's in Boise. I know that's it sounds like it's a pretty sweet place to go. So we got that in Clinker Dagger. I know that's one of Tara's favorite spots. RPM Steak in Chicago. I've been there once before with the region. It's awesome. I think Josh, you were with us that time as well. Josh Gort. And then Gateway 1818 Chop House right by Mike Dowd. Awesome place. Capitol Grill in Schaumburg for Northern Illinois. Republic Chop House in Green Bay. I think it's the best steakhouse in Northwoods by far. And then Skyway, we've got Connected in Peoria, and then Southern Wisconsin Harbor House, where we can do steak and oysters. So rooting for Southern Wisconsin team. But yeah, so whoever tabs the most CPO, that's where we'll host the 2 dinners. The 2 dinners will be towards the end of May or early June. We'll figure out dates once the contest is nearing an end. The small print, in order to receive the prize dinner, you must show up the dates scheduled for the top 2 divisions. There's no cash payout, no gift cards, nothing like that. You guys can read through this. I'll send you an email with this document. And here are some awesome pictures of the steakhouses and restaurants that we could potentially be going to. So make sure you get those dates in your calendar. It is right about when the rep trip ends. So some of you will be coming back on the 27th and 26th. But yeah, get those events scheduled and pick some events in early May if you want to really go big for the steak dinner contest. So April 25th through May 15th, get those in your calendars. Any other questions? You guys excited for steak?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I'm getting 2 steaks because the steak dinner and at Net.
There you go. Big old steak for Kev. Awesome. Well, hey, appreciate you guys jumping on the call here. We're going to jump to our tier 1 shift pick call here shortly. So if you are tier 1, please stay on the call. Looking forward to crushing campaign 2 and the rest of campaign 1 with all you guys. So appreciate all of you. And if you have any questions, shoot me and Caden a text and we're more than happy to help. We'll see you guys soon on shift pick calls.
For a great call.
Cutting deals.
Cutting deals. Awesome. So we'll start getting organized. So we got, I think, everybody on. Caden, can you double check to make sure we got all the tier 1 reps on for me, please? No tier 2 or tier 3, it looks like. We're looking pretty good. Lots of call. Isn't this great? Isn't this great?
Nick, is Jake on?
Jake is, I think, in a realtor meeting, but he is jumping on shortly. Tara should be as well.
Nick, you got Caden for this one, right?
Yes. So Seth, you are more than welcome to hop off as well. Appreciate your help, man.
Yep, my pleasure.
Bye.
Have a good day, guys. Goodbye.
Okay, so for those of you on the call, Mike, you can go ahead and make your first pick because I know you got a dart to your massage.
NASCAR, St. Louis.
Appreciate it. And that's your only pick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, awesome. You're all good to go. You can jump off.
All
And
right.
you got to
Good
jump
luck,
that massage.
everybody.
Appreciate you jumping on, man.
Love you, Mike.
Go, Mike.
Awesome. So I am going to pull up the calendar here. You should also do the same thing. We're only looking at tier 1. Okay, so only the tier 1 calendar for this call. And it's for campaign 2. Okay, so we'll go through. Looks like Caden, you already threw down in the calendar. Thank you for that. If you could also make sure we got that other document updated, that'd be great. And then So the order, I'll run through here real quick. Mike is done. So we've got Tara going first if she does jump on. Vern, you're here. We've got Kevin Marr here. I'm done picking. Lucky is here. Sam Booth is here. Jake just jumped on. Josh is here. Will Heffernan, is he on?
Well, I do not see him.
I think we're only missing Will and Tara.
You have Will's number. I texted Tara though.
I will text Will. Oh, we got like 10 minutes, so I guess if they're running a tad late, that is okay.
I got some hot news.
Go for it.
Number
Dating
10.
church girl.
Yep, no. Number 10 rep in the company last week.
Get it.
Let's go.
Boy, Caden Week, let's go.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Way to go, man.
What'd you do? Besides sell a lot of cocoa.
I don't know. I felt like Vernon and I kept the energy high in the booth, so that was helpful. Just been practicing my script a lot and objections. Reclosed Alti that canceled, so that helps me. But Vernon, if you keep working hard, you could get there someday.
Oh, okay. Okay. I remember the first time I was on the top 10 list.
Yeah. I'm going to where? All right, Tara said